I love it. What's going on, guys? Shane here. So we're doing another live stream. About a couple weeks back, maybe 2 weeks back, we did another live stream. And a lot of people ever since were commenting on that video saying, Shane, I couldn't make this one. I missed it. Please do another one. So here we are. We're doing another one. And I really want to take the time to answer your guys' questions. Last video, we talked a lot about a book called The Gift of Fear, a book by Gavin DeBecker talking about security, you know, self-security and avoiding threats and trusting your gut instinct. Self-defense, the combat mindset, stuff like that. People started to trail off a little bit. Although I did get a couple of tweets. I got 2 tweets from someone saying, or from different people saying that they either rented or bought the book and that they love it. So that's awesome, guys. I'm glad you're prioritizing your safety and your loved one's safety as well. Viewer count's already going up. I love it. Thank you guys for coming in, spending your Tuesday evening on Fight Tips on YouTube. It's good stuff. So I wanted to do a different time too as compared to the last live stream. Last one was on a Sunday, I believe, and this is on a Tuesday evening. So we're going to see if more people can make it this time around. Got some awesome questions last time, so I'm looking forward to the questions that you guys got today. So feel free to ask me anything, fight related, mixed martial arts related, you know, anything from fitness to nutrition to anti-bullying techniques, or really anything. If you're more of an entrepreneur or YouTuber and you have questions about that stuff, like I said, feel free. Ask me whatever you guys want. All right, I'm actually pulling up the chat right now. I don't have it live just yet. So if you guys are saying hi or asking me questions, give me 1 second. I will be there to answer all of your questions. And last time we did get a lot of questions. It was flooding the chat. Feel free to just, if I don't see it the first time, type it out again, guys. Really, don't worry about repeating yourself or anything like that. All right, so cool. Jane, Max, Alan, Crazy, Luke, Tommy, Tyler, Carlos, Bobby, Jedi, Tekken, a little bit of an echo, sorry. Rick, all you guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for spending your Tuesday evening with me. All right, so questions, bring it on. I figured that would be one. Someone said Cerrone versus McGregor, question mark. If you guys didn't hear, as a real football fan just said, RDA pull it out of the fight against Conor McGregor, which was going to be in 2 weeks due to a foot injury. And I do that in quotations because is it really a foot injury? I don't know. I would like to believe that Rafael dos Anjos is not scared and he actually does have an injury. Actually just wrote an article about this, about why MMA fighters are consistently getting quote unquote injured. It's very different. How often do you hear boxers getting injured and pulling out of a fight? It's not common. It's not common. In fact, Manny Pacquiao, right after his fight with Floyd Mayweather, said that he had a shoulder injury. And he said, I didn't want to upset the fans. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't mention it. And he almost got sued for it because people were saying, yeah, I bet so much money. I paid all this money. I wanted to see a great fight. And you came in at less than 100%. You know, you robbed me. You robbed me of my money. So some people are actually trying to sue Manny Pacquiao for that. But it's not common that you hear a lot of injuries in boxing. Injuries happen, of course, to MMA fighters, to boxers. Sometimes you do have to pull out of a fight. But I just wrote this article on fighttips.com, which not many people realize FightTips is a website. Stay consistent on there. I just wrote this article about MMA fighters constantly getting injured. If you guys want to pull this up and read along with me, just open up a new tab and go to fighttips.com. And also, too, sign up right here. I'm not going to send you any spam, but if you give me your email address, I'll send you out emails when I write up a new article like this. So real quick, I'm going to show you this video here of Rafael dos Anjos from his Instagram. And I remember watching this. This was posted 2 weeks ago. I remember watching this 2 weeks ago and thinking, man, I really hope he doesn't get injured. But watch this. I understand plyometrics. He's going for, you know, calf, leg, core, muscle development. I understand he's going for the explosiveness. These kind of movements help with kicks and agility. I do these kind of movements all the time too. But it went through my mind. I was like, man, please don't get injured before this fight. What happened today? He got injured. So a lot of people were saying, is he actually injured? You know, let me change this lighting a little bit, turn this up. Oh, a little too bright. Cool. And they should be asking this question because, you know, is he actually injured? Or is he afraid? Or does he not want to fight for some reason? Does he want to prolong this? Or does he not want to fight Conor McGregor for some reason? Well, think of it this way. So in boxing, you have different promoters. You have people like Bob Arum. That looks really red to me, doesn't it? Whoa, that's blue now. Get right in the middle. How about that right there? So you got Bob Arum, you got Oscar De La Hoya, who are fight promoters. And if someone like, I don't know, let's say Floyd Mayweather wants to fight Canelo, he has to go, they're promoters. Well, Mayweather is his own promoter, but he has to go to Oscar De La Hoya, who is Canelo Alvarez's promoter, and they have to come to agreement on weight. They have to come to an agreement on a date. They have to come to an agreement on a location. And of course, they have to come to an agreement on money. Who's going to make what amount of money? If they don't come to an agreement, or if Oscar De La Hoya feels that Canelo Alvarez shouldn't fight Floyd because he doesn't want him to lose, he doesn't want a blemish on his record, then they'll keep making up excuses for them not to fight. In the UFC and Bellator and other MMA organizations, they're the promoters. They're their own promotion, right? So there aren't promoters that can protect the fighters. So if Dana White comes up to you and he says, you're fighting Conor McGregor, you can't say no. You can't say, no, I don't think I'll beat him. You're fired. You're done. So you're either fighting or you're getting injured. You're getting injured, right? And there's really no way to prove, maybe a X-ray that you could send or something like that. But if you don't provide that, or if you say it's a pull or something, it's something that you can't really show. So these guys, it's tricky. It really is. So my thoughts, I don't know. I hope that he actually did get an injury and that he's not afraid of Conor McGregor. I was excited to see this fight. Who would I like to see next? Cerrone would be cool. I actually think Conor McGregor would beat Cerrone, just because he stands very upright. He stands really tall and he gets hit a lot. Cerrone, awesome fighter. Love watching him. Super entertaining, and he'll fight anyone. I would definitely watch that fight. I think it'll be a great fight. Him and Pettis. Pettis was like my favorite fighter. Up until recently, I think he just he tries too many fancy moves. Maybe the Showtime kick got to his head. I don't know. But I would watch that. I think that still would be a cool fight if those guys went back and forth with some flashy kicks. McGregor and Pettis. Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor. Could you imagine the trash talking back and forth at the press conferences or even during the fight? That would be entertaining to watch in itself. And then also, everyone's forgetting Eddie Alvarez already. He doesn't have the kind of name that everyone else has, but he's the #1 lightweight contender. So I think he's next in line. He's also a Philly guy too. So I think I'd like to see. Long rant on that one, but let's see some other questions. All right, let me see. And like I said, guys, if you have questions, you can see how quick the chat is moving. If I don't see it, just type it out again. All right, how to increase balance and reaction time too. So we'll pick one. Let's say balance. How to increase balance. So as a fighter, right? You're trying to increase your balance as a fighter. Try doing single leg stuff. Try doing a lot of stuff that's going to activate the core. If you're working your hips, if you're working your abs, you're developing the muscles that are going to balance you. So, we'll do shadow boxing, do mitt work, do bag work, because all of those movements are the movements you're going to be doing in a ring, right? But things that also do help are things like pistol squats, which are single leg squats. So you extend one leg out in front, and the other leg bends down to the floor, and you come back up. You can do that with some weight. Okay. Other drills that I've uploaded before too are ones where you spin in a circle for about 10 seconds. Look up at the sky and spin in a circle is one that like Fedor Emelianenko used to do, which simulates getting rocked and you're off balance, your equilibrium's off, and then go right to shadow boxing for about 20 seconds and then repeat in the opposite direction. So there's a couple drills for balance that can help. All right. Shane, send a shout out para todos los mexicanos. How was that? How was my accent? Pretty good? Cool. Let me see. Do you necessarily need protein powder to build muscles? Is Blaze 273. And this is a question I get a lot. Protein powder, guys. Listen, protein powder is a supplement. It's no more than a supplement. What do you like better, blue or orange? Every time I switch back, watch, it'll change. If I go like this, it's a white screen. Come back. Now it turns purple, orange, whatever. You guys get the point. Protein powder, listen up. Protein powder is just protein. You can get protein from chicken, from eggs, from beans, all right? Complete sources of protein are going to come from animal products, milk. As long as you're getting 20 grams of protein, whether you're getting it from a shake, a protein bar, or a bunch of eggs, you're still getting 20 grams of protein. Protein powder is just a convenience thing. It's just because you can't cook up some eggs at the gym and put them in a little cup and drink them, but you can do that. You can shake up your protein and drink some protein and get 20 grams, 40 grams really quick. Okay, so it's just a convenience thing. You don't have to drink protein in order to get big muscles, but you do need protein in order to get big muscles. You can get it naturally from foods. Cool. Let me see. Other questions. What's your opinion on kickboxing from Sterling B's Vlogs? I think kickboxing is awesome, and now it's much different than it was back in the 80s or 90s. Kickboxing is no longer Kyokushin karate where it's just punches and kicks. Kickboxing now is Muay Thai and Kyokushin karate and Sanda, Sanshao. It's an umbrella term, and under kickboxing are all these different martial arts. So things like Glory and Bellator kickboxing, which was announced this past weekend. Raymond Daniels and Kevin Ross are going to be fighting, not each other, but they're going to be fighting on it. Yo, you guys got to look up Kevin Ross if you don't know who that is. Muay Thai fighter, one of the best in North America. Awesome fighter. So I love kickboxing. Cool. Let me see. Other questions. Shout out my YouTube channel, Maddox Hernandez. Boom. Michael J. White. How to stop freezing in a fight. Jose Abella. I think I have a video on this, on how to stop freezing in a fight. So it's common. It is common. Now I want you to remember that it's common. I want you to remember that sometimes it used to happen to me. I want you to remember that sometimes it used to happen to fighters like George St. Pierre. I just found out he gets very nervous before his fights. Even his most recent fight, super nervous. Gets jitters, shakes, all that stuff. What you need to do is train your body to move on instinct, all right? This way, if emotion gets in the way and you get a little nervous, it doesn't matter because your body is a machine at this point, and it's just going to go. That's what happened with my first fight. I remember right before the bell rang. I was 15 years old, right before my first MMA fight. I remember I wanted to turn around in my corner and go, is it too late to not do this? Bell rings. Next thing I know, I'm walking forward, I'm throwing teeps, I'm throwing punches. I didn't want to be there. I was so nervous I didn't want to be there, but my body knew that when that bell rings, because I've heard that bell ring so many times in training, and I know what to do when that bell rings, your body is just mechanical at that point. It's just a puppet. It just goes. All right. So you just have to train. You just have to train more. You have to visualize in your shadow boxing and your training. Picture someone in front of you and picture not freezing up. Picture yourself throwing a punch, moving your head, defending that takedown. How can you be more aggressive in a fight? Says Louie and Andy. I'm okay at dodging punches, but I want to advance where my opponent hits back very hard. I did another video on this too. If you have a treadmill, practice that forward movement, all right, in a fight stance, in an orthodox stance the whole time, or in a southpaw stance, if that's what you are, or practice both. Always moving forward. Have the treadmill on like 3.8 is what I like doing, 3.8. So it's not going super fast, but you're constantly moving forward. You're constantly moving your head. You're constantly throwing punches. Look at fighters like Mike Tyson. Was short for his division, but moved forward, had his head always moving, was throwing punches while moving. Okay, so you're going to be dangerous too. One way to stop a guy from throwing punches is to throw punches of your own, right? Or fake a punch, you know, a little bit of a shoulder movement to feint, and they'll react a little bit. When they do, you get on the inside, you throw the next punch. Just don't hesitate. You can't hesitate. Hesitation will kill you. I'm saying it forever. Cool. 247 people watching right now, but only 7 likes. Could all 247 of you click the like button real quick? That'd be awesome. Thank you guys for coming in too. Really, I was going to upload another video today, and I was like, you know what if I wait a little bit later, wait for people to get out of school and get done work and come hang out in a live stream? Because like I said, I did a live stream about 2 weeks ago, and a lot of people were commenting like, Shaman, I would have loved to have been here for this, but I couldn't make it. I was busy. So I tried it on a different day tonight. Drake or Kendrick, says Edward Padilla. I honestly don't follow rap at all. I really don't. The most recent rap I listened to is like, God, like Wu-Tang. I like listening to like old school hip hop when I shadow box. Some of these questions, you guys are wild. Austin Singh, you especially. How do I block better? Says Josian Caraballo. Practice blocking, man. It's going to come down to your mitt work coach throwing punches at you, whether he's got gloves on or he's got mitts on. It's going to come down to your sparring. All right. You got to keep your eyes open. You got to keep a constant rhythm with your shoulders, your head, and your knees. All right. And just like I said in the previous one, sometimes your punches, sometimes your aggression will help stop your opponent from throwing a bunch of punches. You don't want to be a punching bag. If you're just up against the rope, constantly moving your head, and your opponent senses no danger, you're not throwing any punches, he can throw whatever he wants at that point, right? Constantly lighting you up with punches, one of them is bound to get through. But if you only let them throw one punch or two punches or maybe three punches by the time you respond with one, or on the vice versa, you be the guy that's throwing the three punches and he's trying to fit in one, right? But try to interrupt the rhythm. Constantly move your head, constantly block the punches, keep your hands in close, right? Because once you come out here, it's that much further that you have to bring your hand back to block a punch or to reach out. Okay, so keep your hands in tight. That's why the boxing guard is designed this way, because it's minimal movements. What I always say, minimal movements. Bring my hand to here, and if it's a straight punch, I only have to bring it to here. And if it's on the other side, I only have to bring it to here. And if it's a punch to the body, I was already there. Just got to compress down a little bit. Practice, practice. All right. Official Haim TV said, shout out to me for subscribers, please. Boom. Done. I'm 6'3", 350. I'm quick. Any fighters I should learn techniques? 6'3", 350. What's Mark Hunt at? He's a pretty big guy, pretty big dude. You can check him out. He's a great fighter, and he's one of my favorite to watch. CM Punk on UFC versus who? Man, Alan Ponce, CM Punk. What happened recently? He had to get surgery. It was another injury. He's never had any amateur fights. For him to just get signed to the UFC is a huge step. I'm telling you. I've been talking to my friends lately and training partners about different levels in combat sports, in any sports really. You got guys that are great fighters, like Danny Garcia is a great boxer. Cherry picking aside, he's a great boxer, but you'll never see him be on the same level as someone like Manny Pacquiao or Floyd. You just won't. You won't. He may get better as he gets older. That's possible, and he may get to that level. But I swear, there's just something. Even Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao are in different levels. I'm not saying that Manny Pacquiao is a bad fighter. I am a Floyd fan. I'm a Manny Pacquiao fan too. But to make Manny Pacquiao look the way he did in that fight, it's just insane. That I swear, there's just different levels of talent, of hard work. So CM Punk to just not have any fights at all, even though he's doing hard simulated sparring, they're calling it. Walking in there and going against a guy that's had amateur experience and pro level experience and UFC experience is tough. So I don't think he's gonna, at least at first, if it even happens, I don't think it's going to be too successful for CM Punk. All right, let me see other questions. Oh, also, guys, too, for everyone watching, if you guys enjoy these live streams, I don't know how often I'm going to do them, but do know that I do them every Friday on My Fight Gym. So if you're a My Fight Gym member, every Friday we do a workout, we do a Q&A session, and we do some sort of seminar on whether it's boxing, MMA, flexibility, ab work, whatever it may be. So definitely check out myfightgym.com, guys. It's awesome, and every member on there absolutely loves it. All right, we got, I forget how many members we're at now. We're in the thousands, though. It's good stuff. I'm going to see you guys there. All right, more questions. What's your favorite combo? A go-to combo to me is a jab high, cross to the body, hook to the head. Another one is stepping in on the left hook, sort of pulling in, going for a right cross, finishing with kicks after those too. Jab to the head, cross to the body, hook to the head, right low kick. I love teep to kick combos. I can't give away too many. I don't want to give them all away, but I like mixing in my Taekwondo with my Muay Thai. Of course, my boxing with my Muay Thai. Love stuff in the clinch. Love knees, love elbows. So hope that answers your question on my favorite combos. Maybe I could do a video on that. All right. Let me see other questions. McGregor or Dos Anjos? We talked about the injuries earlier, right? Talked about the content that I did on fighttips.com, the article. Who do I think would have won? I think I would go with Dos Anjos, but at this point, with him backing out due to an injury, maybe McGregor got in Dos Anjos' head too, and he'd make him make a mistake too. But Dos Anjos is a bad dude. McGregor's a bad dude too. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him, but what Dos Anjos was able to do against guys like Pettis and Cerrone, he's another guy that just seems like he's on a different level. Although he got beat by Khabib. Could Khabib beat McGregor? Again, it's another guy with injuries. What the hell's going on with him? It's the question. What do you do in a drunk fight? Says that one Mexican. Well, you want to try to avoid that, right? Drinking sometimes is better to be done at home or not at all, right? So, again, another thing that you can do to replicate that feeling of being drunk, because I don't want to give you no answer and just say that, but if you spin around in a circle for 10 seconds looking up at the ceiling and go right into shadow boxing, go right into hitting mitts or hitting a heavy bag, your equilibrium will be off, your balance will be off. So you try something like that. But again, your mind, your depth perception is off, your balance is off, your wit is not there. So try to avoid it. Try to avoid drinking and fighting. How much do UFC fighters earn per fight? It depends. It really depends on what they promise you, and what they promise you per fight. Could be anywhere from, I think, $1,500. I think it could be like $1,500, which is very low. That's when you're doing like non-televised stuff, I believe. Up to, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think like 200,000, and then there's fight bonuses, and then sponsorships. But now it's much different than the UFC. UFC fighters don't make nearly as much as Bellator fighters. Bellator fighters allow fighters to be sponsored. So, for instance, you're a fighter and you come out and you got Nike on your shirt, Dave & Buster's on your back, Miller Lite on your trunks. All those companies are going to pay you to wear that, right? They're going to pay you thousands of dollars to walk out because they know people are going to see that, right? You're a walking billboard. And the UFC can't do that anymore ever since they signed the Reebok deal. So now if you're a big fighter, Reebok will pay you a little bit more just based on your rankings, just based on how good of a fighter you are. So that's why a lot of fighters are upset with the Reebok deal. Let's see. All right. Goku or Vegeta from Christian Hansen. It used to change when I was growing up watching it. I used to change back and forth on who I like better, Goku and Vegeta. Man, I haven't watched it in full, Dragon Ball Z in full, in a long time. But Goku's cool. He's humble. Vegeta was always the man. I always liked Vegeta because he was badass. But I like that Goku's humble. All right, let's see. Joe Frazier versus Tyson. Oh man, I gotta go with Joe Frazier because he's from Philly. That would be good though. Resistance bands for training, someone said. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Whether you're holding them wrapped around your back or got them tied to something behind you for throwing punches, going overhead presses, still working those same muscles, the shoulders, right, to be able to extend your arms and throw punches, the triceps, squats, jump squats, axe chops are one of my favorites to do. Straight arm, really working the core and the twists, very important. Right, Keith Thurman was another one who got an injury, dark and light, but he was in a car accident. You know, when it's something like that, where there was witnesses and stuff like that and legal documentation, that I believe, and it's a shame. I'm glad it wasn't worse than just an injury. But let's hope he gets better soon. Do you still like Ronda Rousey, says Pedro? As a fighter, yeah, of course. I think if she were to fight Holly Holm anytime soon, though, I think it'll still be the same thing. Reason being is because you can't just learn boxing in a year's time, if that's how long they give her. You can get better at it, but a championship, it's again when I was talking about levels, a championship level boxer like Holly Holm has been doing it for years. And you can't go in there and learn as much as she had or experience as much as she had in a year's time. Just not going to happen. Now, if she can clinch up and take her down and work submissions, she could get the win that way, but she's not going to outbox Holly Holm. All right, let's see. More questions. You guys enjoying this? First of all, you guys enjoying this? I appreciate you guys coming in. I really do. I'm getting notifications on Twitter, too. Does everyone follow me on Twitter? At fightTIPS, if you're on Twitter. A bunch of people are liking it. I appreciate that. Let me see. More questions. You guys are awesome. The underdogs. So I was in Houston this past weekend, guys. I'll tell you a quick story. I was in Houston this past weekend for Bellator 149, Gracie versus Shamrock, and Kimbo versus Dada. It was an awesome experience too. It was funny. We went up to in the 24th floor of the hotel room that we were at, and there was a pool up there. And then the pool opened up, and you were outside. So it was a beautiful Hilton hotel and awesome view. But I'm walking to the outside, and I hear, "Are you Shane from fightTIPS?" And I turn over, and I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, dude?" There's a guy swimming in the pool, younger guy, and he's like, "I watch all your videos." I was like, "Oh, thank you, man, thank you." So then we went outside, we came back in, I was recording a video, and I was like, "Yo, come on over, let me get you in a video." His name was Thomas. So I want to give a shout out to Thomas if he's in here watching right now. Thank you for all the support, brother. Appreciate that. It's cool, man. We met a lot of cool people, a lot of underdogs, a lot of fightTIPS fans out in Houston. You guys are great. It's a surreal feeling. It really is. Being out in person and people recognize you on the streets is, it really is. It's surreal. And then seeing myself on TV. Did you guys see the Dave & Buster's commercial I did on TV? Wild. We were at the fights and they played the Dave & Buster's commercial on the big screen with thousands and thousands of people watching. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking up at myself and just big smile on my face. And I still can't even comprehend it. It's just crazy. It's crazy. But I owe it to you guys. I really do, for all your support, continued support. It's awesome. And I truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. All right. Questions. Let me see. My man, Nick Rob RPGer says, "I can beat your ass with a poop emoji." My man. Moved to Colorado Springs to train me, said David Mahatma. For free? Want me to just pack my bags and move over to Colorado real quick, David? No, I love it here in California. It's beautiful here. I'd like to see Colorado, though. I really would. It's one place that's on my list to visit. But I'm living the dream out here in Cali, my friend. Oh, that's a good question. I kind of wanted to make a video on that, Dr. Jimmy. What's your favorite post-weigh-in meal? Well, I'll tell you what I usually eat after weigh-ins, and then what my favorite meal is after the fight, my celebratory meal, because they're much different. You don't want a burrito bouncing around your stomach before a fight. But all of my fights have been same day. So if I weigh in, I have to fight in a couple hours. I never have like a night to sleep it off. So what I like doing is I do wheat bread with peanut butter and banana on it. And I usually have that with some Pedialyte. And that's enough to carb up, give me energy, but it doesn't bounce around in my stomach. I can digest it and hydrate from the Pedialyte. I feel good to go. Always energized from that. But then my favorite meal to eat after a fight to celebrate, everything. I eat everything. Cheesecake, hoagies. Oh wait, you guys don't know what a hoagie is. Most of you guys don't. What's a hoagie? That's my question for you guys. What's a hoagie? Man, I eat it all. I really do. I love eating. It's one of my favorite things. All right, more questions. What's going on? For us, Hobby said Muay Thai fighters don't use head movement. Why is that? Well, it's not that they don't use head movement, and I don't think that's what he meant if that's what he said verbatim. A lot of these Muay Thai fighters do pull countering, which is similar to what Floyd Mayweather does. They do evasions more so than bobbing and weaving or slipping. And sometimes they do. Sometimes they'll slip punches, but it's not as exaggerated as it is with boxers. Boxers sometimes go all the way down here, right? Mike Tyson, his butt almost touched the ground one time when he was bobbing and weaving underneath the punches. Why is that? Because you're getting your head closer to your opponent's knees, your opponent's feet, right? You can't knee and kick in boxing, but you can in Muay Thai. So that's why you want to stay more upright, more tall. And also for the clinch, once you get your head low, they can clinch up and pull your head down, knee to the face. So Hal says, "Are you tired?" I am a little tired. I am. But I feel good. Why am I? I got bags under my eyes. Oh. All right, let me see. More questions. Who else is in here? How do you become a pro boxer? Nick Rogers, RPGers, you said, how do you become a boxer? So I recommend that you first become an amateur boxer. You have a good relationship with your manager, with your trainer, who's usually at first is the same person. Doesn't have to be though. And then you contact local events and you say, I'm a 135, 155, 185, whatever pound fighter. Looking to make my pro debut, and you go for it. Now you're not going to get paid as much unless you're a seasoned amateur, if you're a recognizable amateur, someone who can sell a lot of tickets. If you have a lot of championships and medals and wins as an amateur fighter, and you present that to a promoter, to a boxing organization, they're going to give you more money. They're going to be like, okay, you can sell a lot of tickets, great, you know, we'll pay you this much, or we'll give you this much per ticket that you sell. So you just got to climb that ladder, Nick. How does muscle endurance and what's mentality you got to have if you're training on muscle endurance? From Rick. Muscle endurance is different than muscle strength. It's different than plyometrics and explosive movements. Muscle endurance is the ability to perform for a long time without fatiguing, without your muscles giving up on you. So you got to do high reps. You got to do long periods of time. My training where I do muscle endurance is I'll do a lot of shoulder work. I'll do a lot of leg work. I'll do a lot of ab work where I'm holding light weights, shadow boxing, 2 to 3 pound weights. Go right into forward and lateral raise, or just static holds outside. Things where you're doing static holds is going to build those muscles up, but you're not going to be staying still in a fight. So you still want to emulate movements. So you want to throw punches and stuff like that. You want to go right into squats, into frog jumps. You want to do stuff where you're constantly burning on your legs. Things where, you know, if you're going to be fighting for 6 minutes straight, you got to be able to do some weight training for 6 minutes straight, right? You got to emulate those movements. Cool. Have you been to Oklahoma? I've driven through Oklahoma, Mr. Swarms. I've driven through Oklahoma on my way here to California from Philadelphia, actually. Yep. Cool. More questions. More questions. I just put on some hand wraps watching your video on how to. I'm still a noob. Thanks. Thunderstar 1998. My man, yeah, just keep practicing. Keep practicing. I went through a bunch of different ways of how I liked wrapping my hands for years up until I found the way that I really like. So if you want to adjust it a little bit, feel free to do that. That's just the one that has worked most for me. Where are you? You look creepy. I'm in my office right now, and I just have a black curtain behind me, actually. And then I got a light on me right now. So I just wanted a black solid background. But thank you. I'm trying to thank you for the comments on looking creepy. Can McGregor really get up to 170? Says Jacob Simons. I don't know if he's actually going to, or if he's just trying to, you know, create more buzz. He could. I'm sure he could. Will he? I don't know. How do you feel about being dropped in a street fight? Have you ever done it? Have I ever been dropped in a street fight? Says Adam S. I've been knocked over in a street fight. I've never been like flash knockout. I've never really suffered any bad injuries in a street fight, luckily. And I owe that to the style that I fight, that I've trained in. But I remember I got hit by this guy that was like, God, honestly, probably close to like 3 times my weight. But he threw just like a clubbing overhand punch, like haymaker. And I blocked it. I remember I blocked it perfectly, but it was just his sheer weight and force behind the punch that I just was like knocked over, you know, and I like caught myself on my hand. Besides that, no, I've never been knocked down. I've knocked people down in a fight, though. Landed a roundhouse kick to the head on a guy once. And that finished the fight. Cool. Other questions. Can you beat Steve Fox? I can beat him as I play Horong or Roger Jr. Yeah. Let me see. More questions. Tips on shin conditioning from Caitlin O'Connor. I actually have a couple videos on shin conditioning. I don't recommend banging your shins with anything hard. I don't recommend that. However, what I do recommend is slow progress. All right, give yourself months to do it. Make sure you're getting a lot of calcium and vitamin D. Kick the heavy bag. Kick things that are soft. Kick things that are supposed to be kicked, right? You're not supposed to kick like metal beams or anything like that. Also, too, I have a theory, and you guys can try to prove it wrong, but here's my theory is I don't want to kick a metal beam, an immovable object. I don't want to kick something that cannot be moved because I'm going to get in the habit of kicking and stopping, right? I'm never going to kick through a metal beam. So my theory is I want to kick things that can move, like a heavy bag or pads, right? So I'm gonna teach my muscles in my body to follow through on my kicks. I'm not gonna stop halfway, and I'm not gonna do any damage to my shins, to my bones. It's a gradual process, though, to desensitize the nerves in your shins, to build up microfractures and therefore denser shin bones. You just got to keep kicking things, but soft things that are supposed to be kicked. Worst injuries is Blaze 273, broken fingers, man. That was probably like I've had like broken noses and stuff like that, but and then non-fighting related injuries. Actually, it was almost paralyzed, believe it or not. But broken fingers are the most annoying one because then you can't punch anything and train. Shane, going to Thailand for beginners. What do you recommend? Simon Lamsall. So it was the best experience of my life. You know, how I got to Thailand, guys? I actually used my student loan money, which I'm still paying off to this day. The money that should have went to college funds, I used that to fly out to Thailand. And the whole trip back in 2010, I think it was, cost me a little over $2,000. Most expensive part was the flight, which was about $1,200. Find a nice camp. I recommend Kiapontip, where I trained at. That's Kiapontip. They have a website with an English-speaking owner. It's an English guy named Rob Cox. Awesome guy. Great trainers there, although they've changed since I've been there. Some new guys there. Great fighters, very polite. Yeah, go for it. I definitely recommend it. That you go, that you train. Give yourself at least 3 weeks to train there. Probably be perfect. Get all your shots, visas, all that stuff. Cool. All right, guys, I'm going to go about 5 to 10 more minutes, and I'm going to call it quits on here. All right. Again, I really appreciate you guys coming out. I'm having a great time doing this. And let me know if you enjoy the live streams. I'll try to do more on the fightTIPS channel, but like I said, it's guaranteed. Not every Friday, but I try to do them every Friday on myfightgym.com. So if you're a MyFightGym member, you get access to the live streams on there. We don't just sit and talk. I'll put you through a workout. I'll teach you different drills. I will put you through flexibility, abs, Muay Thai, boxing, mixed martial arts training. Okay, so we have a bunch of members in there that come and hang out with us. So if you enjoy this and you want to do more of a workout or get that fight training up, check out myfightgym.com. Favorite place to get a cheesesteak in Philly, says John D. I honestly don't really see the hype in Pat's or Geno's. They make like thousands of steaks a night, and they're usually pretty messy and sloppy and dinky and small. So I would go somewhere more like, let me think, what's the best cheesesteak I ever had? I like Lee's Hoagies. Lee's Hoagies makes a good one. Yeah, I like ones that are more wait, did anyone respond what a hoagie was? I missed it if they did. Hoagie is a sub, or what else do they call them? Torpedoes. It's a sub, like Subway, but that's what we call them in Philly. All right, next question. What did you think of the Shamrock and Royce Gracie fight? Royce is spelled with an R, by the way, Drew Caldwell. The Shamrock versus Royce Gracie fight. I was hoping for a little bit longer of a fight. You know, it seemed like Shamrock was hesitant. He seemed nervous. He seemed like he couldn't pull the punch off. I'm actually uploading a video. I documented my whole experience in Houston when I went out to watch the fight live. So I'm going to upload a video on that. But yeah, it seemed like he was just hesitant. And Gracie was throwing some high kicks. He looked flexible. He looked versatile. Caught him with a knee, which was a low blow, an unintentional low blow. But it looked like a knee to the face right before he went down, hurt him. Got him with a nice takedown body lock with a sweep. His right leg, I think, extended, and he rolled him over his leg, finished him with hammer fist. So it was a great night for Royce. Shamrock, I think, was pretty upset, though. I saw him afterwards and at the press conference. Seemed pretty upset about it. Do you fight in Nashville, Tennessee? I've been to Nashville. It's a beautiful, very clean city, and I would like to go back sometimes, but no. I see your comment, Joy Dodson. Not going to repeat it, though. Cool, let me see. Trenton, New Jersey loves Shane, says Roosevelt Henry. Hell yeah. Trenton pretty much is Philly. That's what I think. So I love you guys, too. Does twerking work in a street fight? Yes, obviously, Khalid. How do you get bitches, says Stephen K. Well, I'm married, brother, so I I can't answer. I can't help with that one. Explain John, says Whitey Prod. So actually, I just saw a video too of these people. It was on the news too. People trying to explain the word John. They did a terrible job at it. So John, for everyone who isn't a Philly native, we have all our own terms. We got hoagie, we got John. John is almost synonymous with like thing, but it can pretty much be anything. Like this right here, this filter on that camera. If I can't remember the word for him, I'm like, what's that, John? Put one of them Johns on there. Here's my mouse. But if I, this is a John too. It's a John. John could be a girl. A John is a book. A John is anything. One John. That's funny. I know. I'll use it out here too. I'm like, oh man, I was I don't know. I can't think of an example. But like, I was using that one John at the gym, and whoever I'm talking to was like, what? John? Who's John? I'm like, no, the bench. I was using the bench at the gym. It says good explanation. Still got no idea. It's pretty much when you can't think of a word and you just replace it with John. Almost like a whatchamacallit. John is whatchamacallit. Donnie Yen or Tony Jaa. I'm a fan of both of them. Tony Jaa, though, is I've seen more of Tony Jaa. But I'm a fan of both of them. Where do babies come from? You guys are the best. I just saw one that people will, okay, all right. I see a question here that may be sensitive to some people, but I'm going to answer it because I feel passionate about this one. And a lot of people disagree with me. In fact, my wife is someone who disagrees with me on this one. Demare Clayton says, Shane, should I go to college or straight to pro boxing? Now, I'm a proud college dropout. I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money in college. Does that mean that nobody should go to college? No, it doesn't. But here's how I see it. I should draw a diagram up for you guys right here. Drawing a diagram. Give me my pen. There we go. All right. All right, ready? Here's me. And here's my end goal. Let's say that my end goal here is, I don't know, to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, to have my own gym and my own TV network or something like that, whatever. That's my end goal. Now, I want to get here, right? I want to find the quickest way to get here. Quickest way is a straight line, right? I want to get exactly there. What I noticed is that by going to college, and I went to college for something that sort of helped, right, with what I do. I went to school for athletic training. So I learned a lot of kinesiology. I learned about stretching. I learned about muscles. I learned about the body. I learned about movement. But what I noticed is that by doing that, I was going somewhere over here. Over here would be a gym teacher, right? Which we're not allowed to say. It's a physical ed instructor. We're actually not allowed to use the term gym teacher. So I may have been a gym teacher. That's not the goal that I wanted to reach. That's not what my end goal. So I noticed that I was going out here. And maybe from there, if I was a gym teacher, I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. Then I eventually could get here. But why would I go out of my way? Why go out of my way if I could continue training Muay Thai and get some fights and some boxing matches and maybe go to Thailand? Thailand is going to help because people are going to want to see my experience in Thailand, and people are going to I'll have more credentials. People are like, all right, dude knows what he's talking about. Dude knows what he's doing. Also, I could maybe start training boxing a little bit. Also, I can spend more of my time on my YouTube channel, because that's definitely going to get me more subscribers. I'll upload more videos. People will appreciate it more. I'll get more subscribers, more views. What else do I want to do? Open up a gym. Well, I need to make those connections. So maybe I should move out to California, right? Because there's a lot of gyms out there. I can collaborate with more people. Anyway, I'm getting to the point that I need to get directly towards my goal as quickly as possible. Why go out of my way? I've noticed that with college, it was a waste of time, a waste of money. It didn't help me get directly to my goal. The hardest part, though, is figuring out what this is. You got to figure out what your end goal is and know exactly what you want. So Demare Clayton said, should I go to college or straight to pro boxing? What do you want in life? What do you want? Do you absolutely want to be a pro boxer, and that's what you think you're going to be good doing? and have a plan B for that too. If you feel like, just consider, I don't want you to believe it, but consider, what if you're not successful in pro boxing? What if you're not as good as you thought you were? Or what if some fluke accident happens what if you get in a car accident, right? You want to be able to, and you can't use your hands or something like that. You want to have a plan B. So maybe you want to be a boxing coach. Maybe you want to open your own boxing gym. So I think being a pro boxer will get you there closer than going to college would. Maybe if you go to college for business or something like that, it would help. Just know exactly what you want first and make sure that college is going to help you get to that main goal that you want. Same thing with boxing, pro boxing. I see gyms and dojos the same way I see colleges. I see Sweet Science Boxing Gym, where I train at right now, up the street, as a college, because it's giving me knowledge, because I can share it with you guys. I can better myself. I see the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that I'm training right now as a course. I see that as a college course almost, because again, I'm getting better at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I can teach it to you. I have more credentials. It's the same thing. So figure out exactly what you want in life and get there. Don't take a roundabout way. Don't waste your time. Definitely don't waste your money. All right, invest in yourself. It's a little bit of a rant there. A little bit of a rant. Troy Dodson says send nudes. I wish I could. This stream would get taken down though. I can't show videos, other videos, copyrighted material. I'll shut it down. Roland Engels says, do you ever smoke weed? Still do, and how is it affecting a fight? I have. I'll be honest. I have smoked. The last time I smoked was, honestly, last time I smoked, I'll be honest with you guys, was when I drove out here. We camped out. So it was a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. We camped out, and I smoked a little. So that was the last time I have. People ask me all the time. I was never a heavy smoker though. I smoked probably 5 or 6 times my whole life. How does it affect a fighter? So someone like Nick Diaz would say it doesn't, or it makes him a better fighter. I know a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys who smoke and then go roll. The only thing is I don't think you should ever inhale anything. I don't think you should ever inhale smoke because it's going to affect your lungs. It's going to affect your cardio. Like I said, I personally don't do it, but to each his own. At this point, it's practically legal, so it's up to you guys. Just don't do anything that's going to mess with your future, a job, put you in jail, or upset your parents or anything like that. All right, that's the one thing I recommend. 5 more minutes, and then I'm out of here. All right, questions. What about vape life, bro? Says Andrew Huang. I don't know. You don't want to vape, do you? Really? I mean, realistically. What about edibles? How about that, Andrew? Or a tea? That would be something I'd probably consider doing, like a marijuana tea, because I heard they make those. So I love tea. How do you feel about knives to use for self-defense? This was actually a question that came up in the last live stream that I did, Thunderstar. I used to carry a knife. Every single place I went. I stopped though. I stopped because one time I pulled it out and had no intention of using it, but I pulled it out on someone to scare them. You know, scare factor. I said exactly what I said in the last stream was it was a spring-powered knife. When you open it up, made a very sexy snapping noise, right? Very loud, and it was intimidating, really was. So guy was giving me trouble, was giving my friend trouble actually, and then he came over to me, and I went, and I kind of pretended like I was hiding it, but really I wanted him to see it. Instantly he stopped in his tracks, turned around and walked away, called me a pussy. It's exactly what I wanted to happen. Couldn't went any better. The guy kept coming, I would have had to put it away and then put my hands up, because I really don't see myself stabbing anyone unless they're trying to take my life. I can't, right? I'll be in the wrong. I'll be in trouble. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. There's some times, though, that I'm putting myself at risk, because if another guy pulls a knife on me or pulls a gun on me, I'm going to wish I had it. Maybe, which is why I'm training a lot of weapon defense stuff now. I really just want to be really comfortable with my hands, with myself, as opposed to relying on another object. So I stopped using it, but I understand why you would. All right, 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes. What do you think about parkour? I have the utmost respect for parkour guys. really do. I think it's awesome to watch. I think they have balls of steel. Can you perform a single leg takedown with your head on the outside? I mean, in MMA, the reason why you don't do it in MMA, James, is because you're open for the guillotine choke. That's why you want to have your head on your opponent's stomach or on their chest, because they can't get you into the guillotine choke. In wrestling, you can get it, yeah, absolutely. But in MMA, you want to try to avoid that. And if you do, you're going to have to take them down quick or avoid that choke, because that's what they're going to be going for. Get on the outside if you take them down. Don't let that leg wrap around you. Tekken is my world said favorite NFL team. It's another thing I really don't follow. I'm sorry. I got to be honest. Other sports are boring to me. You know, when I watch fighting, it's two guys going against each other, no other variables, no ball, no sticks or anything like that. And with all these other sports, there's so much stuff going on. You know, there's so many people out on the field, or there's things bouncing around, and I've grown up watching MMA and boxing, and other things are just boring to me. Aiden Gooden says, you're awesome, Shane. Thank you. You're awesome, brother. What do you think about Nike dropping Pacquiao, says Casey Serrano? I think he was, well, let me make sure I use the correct words. I think Pacquiao really should have known better than to said what he did. He's getting paid tons of money from Nike, and I understand that he's a very religious guy, and he has his beliefs, and he's got public freedom of speech. However, it's a very sensitive topic, and I really think he should have just kept his mouth shut, whether he was asked to say it or he said it on his own. I don't know what the context was, but he really should have just not said anything, right? He has the right to believe what he wants, but he really should know better as a professional athlete. It's better to say nothing at all. All right, 2 minutes and I'm out of here. The United Boxy says, have you ever killed anyone before? No. Jason Lang, controlling emotions. Working out helps with me. It's different from person to person. Breathing helps. Working out helps, which gets the endorphins flowing, gets the oxygen pumping through your body. You just got to weigh the pros and cons, consider the consequences. All right, so just breathe and smile. That's what I like doing. All right. Will Triple G ever be beat? Says Dr. Jimmy 73. I don't know. I don't know at the rate that man's going. I really don't know. But again, it's like I said before about different levels of fighters. He's starting to fight guys who are at a higher level. He is, and he had some trouble with what's his name? Who was the second to last guy that he fought? It was, oh my God, I can't remember. Good fighter too, black guy, young black kid. What the hell is his name? I forget. Guy was giving him some trouble though. He really was, with just better boxing. Do I think Canelo's could beat him if he fights? I honestly don't know. At first, I would, like years ago, I would have said Canelo's going to win just because he got more experience. He's fought higher level guys, but dude, Triple G's a bad dude. He really is, and hits hard, accurate, never seems hurt. I don't know. I like to think everyone's beatable, so I think we'll see him be beat, but I really don't know. Walker Power. I know it's the only way I can see the questions though. That's why the spam. I kind of promoted the spam. I told people to keep doing it. Replay X's. Thanks for the stream, bro. Thank you guys. I got a tweet from someone recently that said, "Thank you for taking the time to do a stream. I know you're busy with 600,000 subscribers, but in reality, guys, it's you guys make the channel. You know, I really owe it all to you guys, and I love giving back. You know, I mean, I don't mind taking a couple hours out of my day to hang out with you guys. This is fun for me. You guys are awesome. I love hanging out with you. You guys ask really good questions. So thank you. All right, 30 seconds. Let's do 2 more questions. And again, if you guys enjoy the stream, I do too. But every Friday, I do a stream and a workout seminar on myfightgym.com. So if you're a member, you're supporting fightTIPS, you're supporting me and my family. but you're also getting access to the live streams, to the hundreds of videos that we have. We now have Krav Maga on there. And as when's that coming? I think this Friday I'm getting a 3D camera and I'm gonna start uploading virtual, 360 footage, not 3D camera, 360 camera. So if you have a headset or if you just want to click and scroll, we're going to do virtual streaming, virtual sparring, where I'm moving around the camera and you have to turn and follow me, block my punches, slip, and throw punches back. We're going to do that with boxing and Muay Thai and all that stuff. So you're going to get access to that as well. Boom. Excited to have announced that. All right. How do you find a trainer? You got to go to a gym, look online, because I'm not sure where you're at, Killer Whale. But yeah, I mean, usually if you walk into a gym, there's going to be some good trainers in there. But do your research. Emmanuel Trujillo. I'm not going to repeat that question. What the hell? How often do you consume carbs, Wilkins? Often. Quite often. All right, one more question. Let's see. One that's going to benefit everyone. Caitlin O'Connor, bye. ILY. ILY too, Caitlin O'Connor. One more question. My first martial art was Taekwondo. I won't count that one though. Did not know any Thai before going to Thailand, just like Korkun Kap. Sawadi Kap. The hell is that, Marcus HD Gaming? Have you ever had a kosh on you? Pavel Ivanov. Read, love you, please read. Try to look for a question that everyone's going to benefit from. Hi, Waleed. Do more fight stories. What do you guys think about that? More fight stories? Can takedown be stopped by strikes? James Earl Cash, after this video ends, open up a new YouTube tab and write Krokop versus Fujita, Fujita. That'll answer your question. Man, I could turn some of these questions into videos. Tyler V, thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Filling a heavy bag, t-shirts, ripped up t-shirts, clothes. Ahmed, thank you, brother. Thank you. Vega Ambrose, you have to become a heavyweight? Why don't you just fight in a lower division? How do you lose weight on a very busy schedule? All right, I'll answer that question. How do you lose weight on a very busy schedule? Dieting, really. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. Dieting is the most important thing if you're talking about losing weight. You know, what you put in your body. Your body's a vehicle, right? Your body is a car. Food is gasoline. You want to put healthy stuff in there, but also the more you drive, the more gas that you burn, right? The more energy that you put out, the more gas that you burn. So the more exercising that you're doing, the more calories, the more energy that you're burning. But if you're putting in less calories and clean calories like salads as opposed to cheeseburgers, you're gonna burn that naturally. You're gonna burn all that stuff naturally, and then you'll start losing weight. So even if you're on a busy schedule, you could probably fit in a quick 10-minute workout at work, right? Jump squats, push-ups, mountain climbers, and a jog or something like that. And then don't follow that up with anything like high carb. Follow it up with lean chicken and a salad. Please answer a few more, says Mark Medina. All right, brother. I got you. Couple more. Do you hate the police? My dad's a cop, so no, Kevin Diaz, I do not. Someone said, Thunderstar said, I've talked to you on Twitter a couple times. Can you follow me back? Send me a tweet on Twitter and I'll follow you back. Anyone who follows me on Twitter right now, I'll follow them back. How about that? Or send me a question. I have not heard of Shrek Jitsu. Do you power lift? I was doing it more, Wilkins, months ago and years ago. I was doing it more. And I'll do Olympic lifts, but I don't really go for like maxing out anymore. You know, I still do deadlifts and squats and overhead press and stuff like that, but snatches, but I don't really max out much anymore. All right. I hear this question a lot too. People say their left kick. Ninja Gamer 69 says, my left kick isn't as good as my right kick. Just have to practice. You really just have to practice. I have a video on how to improve your weaker leg if you type that in. But really all I say in there is you have to do it a lot. When you brush your teeth, if you're right-handed, you're going to brush your teeth with your right hand. Try to brush your teeth with your left hand. I tried doing this the other day and it's super hard. It took me like 10 minutes to do it. It's because I've been brushing my teeth every single day with my right hand. You have to do the same thing with, just double it up. If you're throwing 100 kicks a day with your right leg, then be throwing 200 with your left, okay? Try it from a southpaw position, try it from an orthodox position, try shuffle and kicking. You have to be stretching. You have to be doing tons and tons of kicks. Mastery through repetition. How do you sleep? I sleep a lot. I love sleeping, and I believe sleep is super important for every single person in the world. So yeah, I sleep a lot. Nate Brown answered that question earlier, brother, about RDA. Check out fighttips.com though. I wrote an article on it. Is 3 boxing lessons a week enough to become an amateur? Lessons, yes, but you have to be training 4 or 5. So even if you're running and shadowboxing and stuff on your own at home, you got to be doing something a little bit more. My Twitter is @fighttips, Waleed. @fighttips. Stephen K. What the hell? Favorite comedian? Lately I'm like in lately I'm watching John Mulaney. I think is hilarious. John Mulaney is stand up. And then I've been watching what the hell's his name? Bob Odenkirk, is that his name? Who's Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad, like Better Call Saul. But he did With Bob and David, is a show on Netflix. So stupid, but I thought it was hilarious. All right. Kevin Hart is from Philly, though. A lot of my friends went to the same high school as Kevin Hart. My wraps and gloves suck. What do you recommend? James Bruno. Sweet Science boxing gear. Of course. I've got a ton over here. Sweet Science boxing gear. Check out sweetsciencegear.com. Best gloves I ever used, promise. Is an RKO effective? No, it's not real. It's not real. Aaron Lucas, you're awesome. Thank you. Waleed, you're awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Carlos, what the hell? You're going to do a fan meetup. It's Chappie. Yeah, I mean, I just did one this past weekend where I was at the Dave & Buster's in Houston. I'm going to be up in San Jose for the next Bellator fights where Josh Thompson's fighting. I don't know where you're at. It's Chappie. But yeah, man, I'm always down to meet you guys. All right, last question. Are you promoting Sweet Science for money? Well, I'm sort of part of the company, Davey. So in a way, yes. I'd be lying if I said no. But yeah, I mean, Sweet Science is my gym that I train at. Met up with Marco, who's my trainer. When I moved out to California, he let me train in the gym for free. In turn, I just gave out shout outs to the gym in my videos. Then he started making his own equipment. He started making gloves. We tried them out. We didn't like them. We sent them back. He got a different kind, same thing, until we found gloves that him and I both thought were good gloves and worth selling. He did the same thing with wraps, T-shirts, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I'm promoting them, but I work with them, and I'm telling you, they're good stuff. They're good gear. I mean, there's a reason why I've been using my Sweet Science boxing gloves for a year and a half now, and don't wear anything else for gloves. You know, I use stuff that I like to use personally. What happened to Ant? Well, Ant's still in Philadelphia. I moved to the West Coast, California, Elias Gomez, and Ant's finishing up school. But he keeps saying he wants to move out. He says he hates Philly. I don't disagree with him. I mean, I'm proud to be from Philly, but I couldn't live there another day. All right. So Leal Bunny says, if you have scoliosis and have had multiple brain injuries, should you be doing MMA? This is a concern for my parents. It's a question for your doctor, honestly. Really depends. If you've had multiple brain injuries, you probably shouldn't be doing sparring, anything where you're getting hit in the head. But I still think, like I said, it's a question for your doctor, but I'd imagine that you should be able to still do the workouts. You should be able to shadow box, some weight training, hit a heavy bag, hit mitts, that kind of thing. All right, last question. How much is the vest? The one that I'm wearing? I think they're like $20 on sweetsciencegear.com. I don't know. Go check it out. How did you get your hot wife? It's so nice, Alvin. I got to tell you, you said that. Years and years of persistence. Marie and I, we actually went to grade school together. Met in first grade. We kissed when we were 13. She wasn't feeling it. I wanted her to be my girlfriend, but she didn't want to. We went our own separate ways. We were in long-term relationships. We broke up, got back together when we were about 20 years old. She finally gave me a chance, and we've been together ever since. Consistency is key. Is boxing bad for acne? I don't know. That's a good question, Ian, and I really don't know the answer to it because I've really bad chest and back acne. You guys have probably seen it in videos. It makes me wonder if it's from rubbing and sweating and all that stuff. But I don't know. Could be. But like I just said previously, I still got a hot wife even with bad acne. So Senchai MMA thoughts. Is anyone else hear that? Sam Thomas is Senchai MMA. Senchai is one of the biggest Muay Thai fighters of all time. One of the most popular. One of the best. He wants to fight Conor McGregor. He said recently. He said he wants to train with Firas Zahabi, a tri-star with George St. Pierre. I don't think he's popular enough. You know, he's going to have to work his way up to fight Conor McGregor. And even though I think him and Conor would be a good fight, stylistically, I don't see him doing well leading up to that. Like fighting guys like Eddie Alvarez, who's a good wrestler. You know, it's the same thing, like I said, with Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey isn't going to learn boxing in a year. Senchai isn't going to learn wrestling in a year either. Going against these guys that have been doing it in high school and college and in the UFC. So I really don't see him making it to the top. Maybe, though. Maybe. I would love to see it. One of my favorite fighters to watch. All right. I'm out of here, guys. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, guys, because I'm gonna head out on here. But follow me on Twitter. It's a good place to reach me. Follow me on. I got a Facebook. I have Instagram at Shane Faison on Instagram. I got Snapchat is fightTIPS on Snapchat. But yeah, follow me on there, guys. I know you guys got more questions for me. But like I said, the best place to talk to me is on Fridays at my fight gym. If you sign up, and there's a 10-day money back guarantee if you don't like it. Some of these questions are ridiculous. If you sign up for myfightgym.com and you don't love it in the first 10 days, cancel it and we'll send you your money back. But Fridays at, what do we do? 4 p.m. I forget if it's 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Pacific time, but we change it up every once in a while so it fits to your schedule. They're also recorded and uploaded for you. Mark, that's what I'm saying. Live chats, I do them on Fight Gym every Friday. I don't know when I'm going to do the next one on fightTIPS here, so become a member at myfightgym.com. Get access to hundreds of videos, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, Krav Maga, a bunch of different trainers on there, a bunch of different members on there, thousands of members, in fact. All right, cool. Logan, Tyler, C&B, Marcus, HD Gaming, Alvin Clark, Tree Dodson, Danny H for coming in. For everyone else, I love you. I love you. Love you all. Brandon, what? You're awesome, man. Thank you. Say puto. Y'all are perfect. No. No. You guys are trying to get me in trouble. All right, guys. I'll see you later. You guys are the best. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. And spread the word about Fight Tips. Let's get to 1 million subs. Peace out, Girl Scout. Ryan, you're the best. All right, guys, I'm out for real. I'm hitting the stop button. 3, 2, 1. Shame with Fight Tips. Self-defense for the underdogs.